welcome you back to Louisville, Kentucky in the final game of 4 here as the weekend sets up. It's the UConn Huskies out of the Big East, seeded 9th against the Iowa State Cyclones, seeded 8th out of the Big 12. The winner of this one will advance to take on Kentucky. Kentucky convincing winners, a 1 over a 16 seed. They defeated Western Kentucky earlier tonight. Good evening, everybody. Verne Lundquist along with Bill Raftery. Leslie Visser is alongside as well. Let's talk about Iowa State to begin, and that means we chat about Royce White.
The point forward, his mentality is incredible. Great. You think of little guys doing the things that he does. He's great with the bounce for himself. And look at that. Athletic at the rim, can step outside, more of a mid-game, but the ability to involve others is what separates him. He can finish and get to the free throw line as well.
Well, the UConn Huskies, defending national champions, have been the essence of inconsistency this year. They do have some talent, though, especially in Jeremy Lamb and Shabazz Napier.
Jeremy is really a special guy on the offensive end. He has a great understanding of shot selection. He can step out, put it on the deck, get to the rim, good step moves, and just a talented kid in the open floor. They need a big game from him. Of course, Shabazz Napier, get in the lane and do a job in a solid fashion. Make good decisions as well.
8 versus 9 in Louisville. And we'll return to Kentucky with the starting lineups in a moment. Jim Calhoun back on the sideline for the UConn Huskies. Been a difficult season for Jim health-wise and served a suspension early in the year. 26th season as the head coach. And the Huskies start Jeremy Lamb, Shabazz Napier, Roscoe Smith, Alex Oriakhi, and Andre Drummond. Iowa State, the Cyclones from Ames, Christopherson, Chris Babb, Royce White, Melvin Ejim, and Jordan Rayleigh gets the start at center. And the head coach at his alma mater in his second year, Fred Hoiberg. I'm sitting next to the mayor of college basketball, and there's the mayor of Ames. This Iowa State Cyclone team faces UConn, and the winner gets Kentucky on Saturday.
And they will have to be ready. Kentucky looks like they're back playing like they did at the end of the year up until that Vandy game, and really didn't play well in that tournament, some observers felt, as they had at the end of the season.
Andre Drummond, number 12, and Royce White, number 30. Cyclones has the higher seed, lower seed actually. Well, higher seed. How do you?
The better. How about the
it's
better?
8 versus 9. Yeah, that's right.
And right now, Verne Lundquist says you figure out the seeds. Iowa State goes.
Napier, guarded by Chris Allen. This is Ejim defensively. The entry pass, Oriakhi tries to go baseline. Nice job by Ejim.
And that's probably one little weakness is his ability to shoot that away from the ball. Look at this cross-up. What a tough matchup that is. Wow. Is that a way to shake the place up?
My goodness.
Ooh, what an opener. An eye-opener.
Royce White leads his team in 5 statistical categories. And I suppose if you add dunks, he'd be number 1 there.
You name it. This kid can provide it.
Jeremy Lamb, number 3. Oriakhi, and that one almost accidentally went in as Andre Drummond tipped it up in the air.
He does a nice job around the rim, very active. You will have fun watching this team pass the ball. White, the catalyst, gets everybody involved. The drive, draw, and make threes. And look at this cut, and he's free. That's twice now. Just not. And a quick, Jim Calhoun's giving the quick yank now. He's going after both big guys. Drummond first, and then Oriakhi. Take your pick. This kid opens up. Send it in. A roll. Royce, finish.
And now Tyler Olander is on the floor for UConn.
And I'm talking to the assistants at UConn. They thought they'd have to play a little smaller at times because of the activity of this team.
Olander just hit the deck. Ejim turned around and apologized. He gave him a stiff arm, and it was unseen. Here's the jumper from outside. That's good. Roscoe.
Drummond still with White. I'm curious to see how long. They're going to play a lot. They got a nice double screen and then another double and a nice curl.
Back outside, Chris Allen sets up for the three.
Wow, how about this? You've seen him do that a few times.
Yes, indeed.
A couple of Final Fours.
Started his career at Michigan State for Tom Izzo, transferred. And over the back. Yeah, it was Andre Drummond. I thought so. Number 12.
Christopherson, one of those guys who's got a great floater in the lane and can penetrate. Nice slip.
Beautiful. Off the glass and in for Melvin Ejim. Number 3, the sophomore from Toronto. One more for Napier.
DeAndre Daniels, another guy that they will play, who's a terrific defender. He might get White. Look at this run out, and he finds him. Better catch. They had something.
Yes. Fade away, Christopherson. Bingo.
How about him for spacing? Quick feet. Organization of the puppies. Exceptional.
His former team will be playing on Saturday, Marquette, the Golden Eagles.
The ability to create space, so important for a shooter. Range, involvement.
Ryan Boatright, ineligible the first part of the season out of Chicago, Aurora, Illinois, actually. He is on the floor. He and Lamb, Oriakhi, Roscoe Smith, and Shabazz Napier.
And that's the matchup now. Roscoe on the Royce. Rolls. Can't leave him.
Christopherson.
Oh, goodness. Of all people, Calhoun is livid. He wants his point out.
Oh, boy. Calhoun is going to... He calls a quick timeout. Oriakhi drifted back, leaving Christopherson wide open. Jim Calhoun, this is the third time he's gone back to have, it's not a conversation, it's a monologue. It's Calhoun talking to Oriakhi.
Everybody else is saying, I'm glad it's not me.
Oh, yeah, but it will be at
eventually. I saw Neil's Giffey on the bench. You may see him, too. He's a pretty good defender, can shoot. Look at this kid attack.
That's blocked by Drummond. Here comes UConn. The other direction, Napier pull-up jumper for 3.
Wow, yeah, about that. And Lamb at the rim, too, if there happened to be a miss. And all of that was because there was no show on the hedge, leaving Christopherson, who's an unerring deep shooter, wide open.
Napier closely guarded. Oh, look at this.
Pretty.
And White couldn't get a handle on it, but cleans it up just in time, puts it off the glass.
A nice little penetration by McGee. Forcing it one way.
High screen.
I think Lamb's got to hunt some shots. Deferring on the other side.
That one off the iron and into the hands of Chris Babb, the junior out of Arlington, Texas. Royce White, number 30, leads this team, as we mentioned, 5 statistical categories.
He does a great job handing off and then screening the guy. And just that little opening gets the ball right into the lane for Chris Babb.
Little mid-air adjustment now, and Iowa State is 8 of 11 from the field here in the first 6 minutes of the ball game.
Fred Hoiberg, such a relaxed guy. He's got to go now.
Lamb.
I would have given it right back to him. But Hoiberg's so quiet. You know, he brings the transfers in. They respond to him.
Right.
Play team basketball.
Napier. This is Boatright for 3. In and out. And Babb tracks down the loose ball. Royce White, Christopherson, Babb, Ejim, and Tyrus McGee is on the floor now, number 25 for Iowa State.
That was their open middle. Whoa, how about that? That didn't get you dizzy. Wow. Boy, that puts you in the spin circle.
Napier has 6.
Nice back cut, and look at the delivery. Oh, I just love this guy. And that's all because they raise everybody out, keep the middle open, you can step and go. But the ability, you know, I don't do much laundry. I was trying to say spin cycle, but I come up with spin circle. Pretty good footwork in here. I just love White. He enjoys making a play, and those guys will step and go for him.
Melvin Ejim at the line. It's E-G-I-M. Pronounced Ejim. Drummond has to take a seat on the bench and gets a little earful from Jim Calhoun. Drummond has picked up his second foul.
He almost needs some earmuffs over there.
Boy, oh boy.
Jimmy really railing a little bit. He doesn't like their start.
Ejim with 2. George Blaney sitting to Calhoun's right, and Calhoun just reached over and patted George on the shoulder.
If I can shoot the basketball.
Yes, he can.
And he can also guard, which is why he's in the game right now.
Niels Giffey from Berlin. Spelled G-I-F-F-E-Y, pronounced Giffey. McGee in and out. Tracked down by Iowa State.
Quick to the ball. They punish you with just a turn of the corner and then find people, and they can make deep shots. Not that time.
It's Anthony Booker who put it over the rim.
He can step out for the 3, but a good offensive rebounder too.
Nice pass. Olander has it slapped out of his hands. Contact. And a foul call.
Well, the more you watch UConn, they do have some depth. I mean, they've got 8 guys that they can rotate in and out of there, depending on who is playing well and who's not performing. What's great about Jimmy, though, I mean, he can get on you, and then you're going to go back in.
Yeah.
So best to keep quiet, take the hit.
Something happens when the game starts. You and I have known him very, very well for a long time. D. Rowe, the old, the former head coach at UConn, a wonderful friend of both of ours, was telling us yesterday. He came over on the bus with UConn for the shoot-around, and there was Jim Calhoun sitting next to his grandson, having a really quiet, meaningful conversation. You knew this was coming.
Well, you know, when you get between the lines, everything changes.
Yeah.
And no gifts for the grandchildren here.
Olander. And it's a 6-point margin with 12:05 to go in the first half. Booker picked up that last foul. This is Leslie Visser's favorite player in the tournament, Bubu Palo.
She likes the name, huh?
Yeah. Number 1.
Ejim going to give the bump. Oh, should have picked up the dribble.
5 on the shot clock. Jumper for 3. Yeah.
He can stroke it. That kid, Chris Allen, he also can finish around the rim, but he can pull up and make the deep one.
Chris Allen playing in his 15th NCAA tournament game. The previous 14 with Michigan State. He went to 2 Final Fours, 09 and 2010.
Pretty good track record. Nice back screen.
That got a little sloppy at the finish. Take us to the commercial.
Well, welcome to the NCAA. I know you haven't been here in a while. What a track record. The transfer at Iowa State.
9-point Iowa State lead. Time to say hi to our colleague, Leslie Visser.
Verne, thank you. I do love Bubu. Also, back to the days of the 3 of us with Coco Archibong. But before the game, Royce White said to me, this is a very ironic matchup for him. He said he grew up idolizing, of all schools, Connecticut, especially the '99 championship team that had Khalid El Amin, who was also from Minneapolis, Minnesota, where, as you know, Royce was a high school phenom. Verne?
How about that? Very nice.
You never know who your fans are, since we have very few.
Coco Archibong.
How about that?
Bubu Palo on the rim. Wave it off.
In the cylinder, straight up to the ceiling. But he is clever with the dribble. And Jim Calhoun up again. You know, it's funny, Jim, this guy's pretty good. I just want to let you know, Jim, he's tough to guard. He is railing at his guys for not keeping him in front. Of course, the hand on the rim as well. He draws 2, usually bears the weak side. And I think it's better to take the ball and dunk it and then grab the rim.
Anthony Booker. Royce White a native of Minneapolis, began his career at Minnesota, never did play there. Diagnosed, it's been well publicized, and he doesn't shy away from discussion of the issue with anxiety disorder. Here's Booker, yes.
And clever around the rim too, Verne.
And Royce White sat out, transferred to Iowa State. The anxiety disorder is something that he takes medication for, and he's quite open discussing the difficulties it's caused in his life. Here's Oriakhi.
And look at this run out now. He's always looking ahead, challenging.
I just love to watch him pass.
I do. Me too. It's working. You can see why Hilton is jumping anymore.
Yeah.
These kids are unselfish.
Wow! Christopherson.
Raining deep. Trays. You know, one other thought on the anxiety with Royce. The impact he's had on families, too, where it's been very helpful with their children.
Here's Roscoe Smith at the other end. And the rebound cleared by Iowa State. They are up 28 to 14. Christopherson saves it. Booker tracks it down.
How about the behind the back by Royce, going to the well with it all early.
That's for three, Chris Allen.
Are they killing it from deep? Allen 3 for 4.
13 to 3 run. Cyclones.
Nice refusal and empty.
Here's Royce White, Iowa State. He's got a little speed too.
Look at the head up too. That's what impresses me. Sees it all. And everybody's eyes are around him because they know they might get hit. Oh! Timeout. Justified. A cyclone hitting UConn right now.
(34-14). It's raining threes in Louisville.
And who's in the middle of? Look at this handoff screen. Gives the open look to number 11, Christopherson, who is incredible. The drive, draw, and find in the corner. You're stepping into those threes. And right here, once again, just a little bounce and not the good, tough defense you're accustomed to with UConn. They got them swiveling.
Now these are open looks too. 6 of 10 from three-point range. A reminder that South Dakota State, the Jackrabbits, is Jeremy Lamb. And Baylor, that game on True TV.
Lamb not getting many good looks, just took it upon himself that trip. Got to stay connected now. Run your offense, get good looks.
Napier fadeaway. Another rebound for Iowa State. That's Chris Babb, the junior, out of Arlington. Now Christopherson, Babb, Booker, Chris Allen, Royce White. This is White.
Nice cut, and look at the find.
Oh, we missed it. But the tip, too strong.
They just hanging tough, aren't they?
Something about a third time. Who in the world would have seen this coming? 36-14. And yet, as inconsistent as UConn has been this year, I guess, some might say, yeah, we saw it coming.
Well, they are really rocking right now. Look at the pinch on the side.
Lamb. 7 minutes, 29 seconds to go in the first half. Cyclones are roaring through Louisville. Field goals, look at UConn, 5 of 18. Iowa State has been torrid, particularly from three-point range, and they've also got a 10 rebound edge. Yeah, me too.
Well, you know, it's more mental than anything.
Yeah.
And that's a real dilemma for any coach and team. I mean, they're lethargic. They're not reacting or responding defensively, taking tough shots at the other end against a cool, calm, collected team that plays together.
Yeah, Iowa State obviously ready for this one. I don't think you can say the same for UConn. White over on the right side.
Well, look at the open middle too. Plenty of room to decimate with the bounce. They should double. It's too tough.
Yep.
It's too tough. He knows he's got a picnic going. Drummond used to. All right.
But we were both in the same neighborhood of the park. Whoa.
Lucky. Nice pass.
Oriakhi gets two. And looking in the corner, White wants it. Instead, tough pass. The putback is rejected. Shot clock at 2. Heave it up.
They got a nice hustle.
Wow. Bubu Palo, number 1. Palo.
Followed by a Bubu. There you go. Attack a little bit. A good defensive stop. Could energize.
Drummond clears it for UConn. Napier, left wing, all the way, rejected at the basket. Well, the highlight of the first half here has been the Cyclones' torrid pace from the field, particularly three-point shots.
And Verne, it's the type of shots, too. Beautiful, clean look set up by savvy movement, good cutting, stepping into shots, ball screen, just so admirable. And right now, a little more life with UConn. You got to be thinking stops if you're UConn. Just get back in it gradually.
Yeah, you just got to chip away, right?
Absolutely. But it always starts on this end.
White, how about that?
Nice block, too.
Oriakhi with the block.
They're doing a better job. They're committing and recovering now, so anxious and involved. That's good.
A little different demeanor that we've seen in the last couple of minutes from UConn.
And here's a tough defensive set.
White.
Look at him handle.
Christopherson. Rebound, Oriakhi.
Nothing there. There you go.
Up-tempo pace. Here's Boatright, little crossover, drive. Oriakhi, no. Rebound, Royce White.
That was a big finish. Yeah, he's a fancy footwork. No music.
Palo gives it off to Christopherson. 4:25 to go first half. Christopherson,
nice hustle.
Loose ball. 3-on-1. Napier behind the back, got it off the glass.
Nice play, heading play right now. Hoiberg sees it slipping a little bit. UConn stepping their game up. Ejim, Calhoun, they're listening to me. Oh, all about hustle, runouts, and easy baskets. This is UConn, a lot better than early. Too good. Here he comes.
Guarded by Palo, number 1. Shot clock. Whoa, yes. Wow, Napier.
Tell you, that kid really rises to the occasion. I mean, he's a big game player. Likes tough shots, occasionally a little too tough, but steps it up.
Saves it. Might have taken the jumper. Look at Booker.
So they think it went out of bounds. And they got to roll it. Wow. How about the activity now on the rim? And even the hands defensively on that slip. Perfect, getting into the lane and not making a mistake, kicking it out or dribbling it out. Short.
Yes.
The other way.
Offense. Everything that went right is now going wrong.
Did you see him throw the ball away? You got to be careful when he gets mad. He's looking over at us to see if we like the call or not. He thought it was clean. I don't think I'd question him, you know? I think he knows the game too well. He's trying to point where he wants it.
Over.
There you go. Yep. That's what he's got to do. Keep those puppies churning. Use a single one side, double the other. Keep active.
A 14-2 run.
And turnover here. Well, almost, but great recovery and then the eventual hammer.
Anthony Booker with the slam dunk and a foul called on Christopherson. Off the glass and good.
How about that with that penetration? Bubu. Positive. With that drive, looks like he may have hurt his arm. He's got it behind his back down here, his wrist.
And he's got a little bandage on his right wrist anyway.
And he's got a tough guy to guard.
Yep. Lamb. There you are.
And see, he's now got the shoe loose. If it fits, take it home. Bubu in his wrist and his foot. But this is just a terrific effort. Little kiss at the end of that. Now landed on that wrist as well.
Well, his dad is a professor of science at Iowa State University. Full name is Ejim.
Yeah. The lengths you go to.
Just research.
That's all you do.
That's my life.
Right now, a little 2-3 zone. Trying to force somebody. Better tag the obvious. Christopherson being one of them. And Chris Allen on the other wing. If White gets it late in the lane with a flash, he's able to find on a wing.
Oh, Christopherson lost it. Oh, at the buzzer. Whoa.
Plenty of time. UConn's had that happen a few times.
Oh, no.
Remember the Texas game? They threw it the ledge of the floor.
Here comes the hook. Gaffey is on. Roscoe Smith is out. And 1.4 seconds left.
They want to keep everything in front of you here and don't foul. Good job.
Well, it was 36-14 Iowa State. They were cruising, and all of a sudden went frigid from the field. They missed 7 of 8. UConn began to chip away once more, and they've got it to 10, 42-32. As we get to the break, let's go to Leslie Disson.
Fred, you were in your day a great three-point shooter. When you had that 16-0 run, you had 4 three-pointers. What are you seeing out there?
Well, we had great spacing. We had great movement. When we got the ball off the boards, we were able to get out and push in transition where we're at our best. Once they slowed us down a little bit, I didn't think our movement was as good. So we need to get back to that in the second half and try to create some open shots.
A lot of people are seeing Royce White. Is there no responsibility he can't handle?
He does it all. He rebounds for us. Obviously, when he gets it, he can really push the ball down the floor. Great unselfish passer. And when your best player is as unselfish as he is, it makes it easy on the rest of the guys.
Thank you, Fred. Back to you, Verne.
All right.
Well, if you haven't had a chance to see Royce White play throughout the season, you're getting a little idea of the versatility the Cyclone big man has. Look at him take it up the floor and finish. 4 of 5 from the field, 8 points, 8 boards, a couple of assists as well. Iowa State has a halftime lead, 42-32. 3 games. Iowa State knocked down a whole bunch of threes. UConn struggled from the field early on. They did have a 16-4 run at the end of the half to close it to a 10-point gap. But what's gone wrong for the defending national champs in this first half?
I think when you start to look at UConn playing against this Iowa State team, you don't guard power forwards at 6'8", 270, really handling the basketball. Royce White is initiating the offense, so you have guys for Iowa State, wing guys like Chris Allen getting a chance to roam. He gives a dribble handoff, and guess what? He's setting a great pick. But then also they're getting the passing lanes, and they're doing an excellent job of clogging the middle, and I think what the Connecticut's trying to do is beat them one-on-one without making an extra pass or extra move or extra pick. You're not going to do that against Iowa State.
They got good size, Iowa State, on the perimeter, and Jeremy Lamb, it really hurts you when he's hitting threes. He doesn't have any threes. He's not playing that poorly, but he doesn't have any threes. And it's really interesting for me. I hope everyone in the country is enjoying watching this, but you play against UConn, and you got a feel for him. You see this dude, Royce White, coming up there at 6'8", 270, bringing the ball up, which brings big people away from the basket, and it's allowing their guards, Iowa State, to go off the dribble. They're a very impressive team.
There's not many players like him nationwide.
He's probably the most unique player in the country. Heaven forbid he ever develops a three-pointer. I mean, then it could really be lights out for the guy. But he does have a lot of teammates who can shoot the three-pointer. We talked earlier in the day. That's really been the one, if there's one thing more than the sort of chemistry and tangible health and personnel issues that UConn has had this year, it's defending the three-point shot. They're ranked 15th in the Big East in three-point percentage defense at 34%. On the flip side, Iowa State is 8th in the country country at made threes per game. They're not a great team in terms of their point guard play, which is why Royce White is so valuable, because he is essentially their point guard at the power forward position. But you talk about Scott Christopherson, of course, the former Michigan State Spartan, transferred in Chris Allen. Those guys are doing it from behind the three-point line. And maybe what's most surprising at all is the way that Iowa State is absolutely pounding UConn on the boards, 23-12 in the first half. When's the last time you
Royce
saw?
White. If you don't know Royce White's
that's
story,
filthy.
among other things, he lives with an anxiety disorder. He has a fear of flying. He's overcome all of that. And you can see the versatility. He led the Cyclones this year in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks.
Yep.
We're running out of categories.
I think this is
What else you can have?
This is one of those things where you can't simulate it in practice.
6'8", 270.
He just came down the middle lane. UConn guys pride themselves in blocking shots. Both guys were stunned when he went up, and he just went and dunked on him.
I mean, I will say this, though. Iowa State had it at 22. And so now it's down to 10. We saw this the other night with BYU. They were down 25 to Iona. They got it to 15 at halftime. So I think UConn's got to feel like, hey, at least it's a game now. And then Iowa State's going to have to be able to play with the lead. And when you start feeling that pressure, those three-point shots, that's UConn's best chance to get back in it. They got to get after it.
There are plenty of other believers in the defending national champs, some outside the Nutmeg State, including Creighton's Austin Chapman, who says Jeremy Lamb is going to bring them back to prediction.
Okay.
The Blue Jay.
Go on, bring him back.
Go on, bring him back.
Go on, bring him back.
Iowa State by 10. Let's check in with Leslie Bissell.
Jim, you knew you'd have to defend the three. Did you feel like you started to down the stretch?
No, I think we got blitzed, and we're hopefully trying to recover. We brought that 22-point lead down to 10. And we're going to have to find some kids that want to play basketball. We just, they blitzed us. They played much quicker, much better than we did.
You know, Jeremy Lamb, they did do a good job. They had Babb and a switching defense. What do you need from him?
Well, he's got to guard somebody, and then he did score points, but he's got to guard somebody. We all have to guard somebody. We really got off to a terrible start, kind of fought our way back, and we're going to have to hopefully complete that fight.
Well, you've been down by double digits before. Thank you, Jim. Verne?
Totally, and walking out here with a victory. And just not covering the deep shot. Great penetration. Guards coming off screens, wide open. Nobody hedging, showing on them. And the one source, Shabazz, Napier, really trying to go to the goal at times, draws some defense. And Lamb's the guy, I think, that has to get untracked, Verne.
First half stats, Iowa State by 10. And they have hit 52% at 1 point. They were 6 of 10, missed their last 2 3-point shots. Royce White will inbound right above us. And we are set to go. Winner gets Kentucky on Saturday. Ejim.
Nice set play with the horn set out of the gate.
Oh, he got it. Rattled around and rolled through. Jeremy Lamb. And Royce White clears it for the Cyclones.
And the problem with the other, White doesn't have to guard him, but he's not going to Drummond. Wow.
How about that?
Whoa. Goodness. Not a good one, and they've taken terrific shots.
Alley-oop, Drummond.
What a catch.
No. And Christopherson clears it. Jeremy Lamb, here's Christopherson. Shove off.
Yeah, I believe it was White.
Yeah, Royce
The
White.
discard.
That's his second.
This is the small island for UConn. I think Jimmy a little upset at the coverage, particularly any hand hedges or any dribble handoffs. Just not typical UConn basketball that first half.
No.
I mean, I don't.
Royce White.
Oh, nice play. They stay with that. Well, you got to be tough, and that's what you have to do if you're Drummond.
Boatright.
Now look at White in the back there, Verne. He doesn't have to guard anybody because Drummond, other than check him out.
Right.
And that enables him to coordinate the defense and upset the flow of the offense.
Chris Allen with the foul. That's his second. Boatright. Up and off the glass, and the putback is good from Roscoe Smith.
What a great effort with the speed, the footwork to get to the rim and help his partner out.
And the mark.
Much tougher on defense, right there.
Yes, it is. Look at Boatright work. Gets a good pretty. Oh, my goodness.
And that open middle is the reason that works. You're aggressive. You're really trying to pressure. You can read it, step and go, and this team just gives of one another. And what a nice cut, too, just to bail him out. Ejim to the rim, and right away, Christopherson, you got to really hug him because he's so talented from big range.
Now Ejim will be at the line to shoot one. Tyrus McGee is back on the floor now, replacing Christopherson. McGee, number 25. Born and raised in Louisville, moved to Oklahoma when he was 10 years of age. And Anthony Booker is also going to enter the fray now for Iowa State. Lamb. Booker comes out. Boatright, cat-like quick.
Tough pass.
Turnover. Here's Babb. Royce.
What? Explode. Napier right back. Nobody underneath, and a turnover.
Slipped. Here's Babb. 3-on-2. 3-on-3. Good job of getting back defensively.
And look at the hand up. Royce backcourt saying, slow it down. And let Mr. White decide.
Kevin Ollie, the assistant coach for UConn. We were talking about his relationship with Fred Hoiberg. They took a recruiting trip to Arizona 20 years ago, and neither wound up going there. One of the pure Lute Olson misses. The Infinity Coaches Spotlight. Take a look at Hoiberg's story. Second season as the head coach at his alma mater. He turned down Arizona and went to Iowa State. And, of course, Kevin Ollie turned down Arizona and wound up at UConn.
It's interesting how they show a zone kind of a look, and then they match out of this.
You think Fred Hoiberg's ever lost his temper?
When he probably listens to this tape, he will. No, he's really calm and a calming influence, too.
That was Chris Allen who missed that. Tyrus McGee is back on the floor now. Nice move. Blocked by Royce White. Quick pass at the other end. McGee got it. Wow. What a nice find that was.
Absolutely.
And back to a 15-point lead for Iowa State. Floater. Oh, my goodness.
Not too bad. He's got that in his arsenal.
Here's White. Allen.
Ooh, tough shot. Wasn't it the way he got corkscrew? What?
Right on cue.
Oh, well, how about this opportunity here? You know, it's amazing the ability that these kids possess to get squared, shoulder, chin on the rim. That was just acrobatic.
You know, I just flashed through my mind the Sean Wood shot 20 years ago. That wasn't the same kind of a deal, and certainly not in the same circumstance. But Woods took that bank shot that had Leitner not hit the game winner.
Would have been a
timeout called. Sean Woods, by the way, head coach at Mississippi Valley State. They lost in Dayton on Tuesday night. We're back in Louisville, where UConn trails by 15 to the Cyclones of Iowa State. They have been led, the Cyclones, by Royce White. Now they have one timeout remaining. 13:30 to go. Lamb fouled.
Ooh, closeout.
And that's going to be 3 free throws.
Yeah, on Babb. He tried to help out. Just a little overzealous.
Picks up his 3rd foul.
Iowa State can pick you apart. They play so well together. Just great organization with the feet. And boy, a little small change, huh?
Oh, dear. Over the course of the season, Jeremy Lamb, 82% from the free throw line.
Diffie with a pretty good defensive trip there with that swipe. He can make jump shots. He had one early. Nice curl by him now.
And the ball is tipped. The foul is called. 53-40. UConn at the line when we return. This year, enjoy more madness with Coke Zero. Text DUNK to 2653 for a chance to win a trip to the 2012 NCAA Men's final four. Here's a segue. Let's show you a dunk.
And how about this guy? He can provide a lift in many ways. Goes without the ball, tough around the rim. Just a great feel and understanding of what to do, when to do it for this team. And
no, look at this.
Oh, my brother looks good. I always don't take his hat off at games, though.
Yeah, 16 fouls on Iowa State. UConn has committed only 1 foul in this half. We're under 12. And again, it's an 11-point game. Here's Royce White, got a rest.
Oh, no.
And they got Giffey.
Just let him play. They're raving at the fans, a little sarcasm. But Giffey just gave ground on that particular play. And it's so good in the lane and just keep, I don't know. Got to get something going at the rim.
Lamb, jumper, pull up. Good. That's for 3.
And what an alert run out to give him the screen for that opening.
Allen started off quickly, and he's got one that falls through, and he's going to shoot a free throw.
Giffey at a disadvantage that far from the rim with a guy fleet of foot and playing with some confidence, too. Chris to the 10, and just the show a little bit too late. And this is that bump that set it up, too. A little cotton nylon, whatever you want. But I'd like to see him go to the rim a little bit more, too.
Boatright wants the screen, gets it.
Nice play.
That was Booker with the block. The 5 brings it back outside. Only 10 on the shot clock. Lamb works with Babb, guarding him. 5 on the shot clock.
That's what you got to do.
Got it.
Good play. Get in the lane and be creative.
9:30 to go. Boatright. Oh,
that's what you got to do. That's twice now. Napier almost come up with a steal on that throw-in. Ooh, got another good play by Smith. Boatright, a guy that plays with a lot of confidence. He is going to be terrific next year, I think. A little head and shoulder, no dandruff, but a blow by.
11-2 UConn run. See what White has in mind here.
Wow, is that
he
tough?
has in mind to switch to his left hand and put it up and in.
That was a strength move. Totally discarding Giffey.
Iowa State fans on their feet.
Oh, trying to one-hand catch it.
Lamb comes back and controls it. Chris Babb is guarding him, number 2. Done a fine job for the most part tonight. 4-3, got it!
Wow, a nice fill. Making yourself available by Boatright, and Napier, great presence to deliver the pass.
Well, it's gotten quite interesting, hasn't it?
It sure has.
Here in Louisville, Boatright's 3, and it's a 6-point margin.
White uses the dribble when he has a look at this kid.
How about the
hung in the air? George McGinnis like popped it, right? Oh, he just reads who's guarding him. He understands his advantage, and right here with Roscoe, he knows he can go to school on him. And look at that little hesitation, almost knocking it down and getting 2.
Now this is the one thing that is not a strikingly effective arrow in his quiver. He does not shoot free throws well. 49.
It's not a really bad release. I think he keeps the left hand on a little bit long, but who better to teach it than Fred Hoiberg? When you think of it, he was a terrific deep shooter. There you go.
Yeah. 7. Boatright. Guarded by Palo.
Wow, how about that use of the dribble?
Whoa! And Chris Allen's got it for the Cyclones.
Ooh, they almost got it. Lamb.
When in doubt, get it in the hands of Royce White.
Yep.
Thank you.
Things seem to go right. Makes all the big decisions. Here they get him in the box.
Oh, what a block by Drummond. But it's back outside, and they do get a fresh 35. Wow. 10 on the shot clock. Kick in the corner. Nice defensive job by Boatright. That one's way up off the glass.
Oh, a high kiss off the forehead. He has played good minutes, hasn't he? That is a deflating basket.
My gracious, yes. Here's Lamb.
Not even looking at it, though. I don't know why they were doubling.
Yeah, Ejim came over to help on Drummond. 7 on the shot clock. Boatright wants to take Palo off the dribble. No, rebound, Royce White. Hurries up, keeps his head up, drills it. Taken away by Jeremy Lamb. We're under 5 remaining.
And White knew that was it. Look at how deep this is. Push, Boatright.
10, shot clock. Chris Allen, jumper. Way up, tipped. Loose ball, Allen.
You don't need it. Yes, you do. The quick change of the mind. Ooh, is this some serious basketball? How about the action, the reverse? He can make the deep one. A little kiss in Louisville.
And let's see if they work the clock a little bit now. 3.5 to go. Bubu off the glass, no.
And another hustle, effective rebound. Quicker to it, want it more.
And now Royce White.
Get it to the right guy at the right time.
Under 3, Allen. The dish, perfect. And Ejim was a little too far into the basket, but he's fouled.
I don't know who they give this to. Lamb was in there, one of the bigs as well.
Roscoe Smith gets the foul.
So effective
on the court tonight. Got it. Watch every 2012 March Madness game.
Up the last 6 games. Rebounds, points, gives them another added dimension.
And once UConn got within 6, Iowa State has answered the challenge again with 7 unanswered. Winner gets Kentucky. 65-53. And it's a very difficult season for UConn. Might be coming to an end.
Of course, Jimmy, health-wise, had a rough year and came back miraculously 4 days after an operation.
And they will not be playing in the NCAA tournament a year from now.
Now I know, with their academic difficulties. Although they are appealing, I'm told.
Yes, they are appealing. And a foul on Napier with 2:28 to go in this game.
A little Hacker White, Hacker Royce. Put the guy in the free throw line.
And so the 49% free throw shooter is back. He's 1 of 2 for the day.
A lot can happen if you don't make these as the game progresses. How about this kid? And they got a lane violation. Let's see who it's against.
Looks like it might be Chris Allen. Wow. I believe it was Chris Allen. Yep.
Just getting in a little bit early. Wow.
Ooh. You get a made free throw from a 49% free throw shooter. And it's negated. Here's Napier.
Big change. And look at this. Big swing. Potential 4 if you make the other one. See if they're going to give another foul. Royce is staying away from it.
Allen. Back outside.
The other guys are all pretty good. Allen,
yeah, they sure are.
You know, he wants to keep it.
Jeremy Lamb got the foul at the 2-minute mark. For the most part, a day devoid of upsets. VCU, that I don't even think that's an upset anymore with them.
No, not with them.
12 beat 5. They beat Wichita State today. Chris Allen.
Smart play, getting in the hands of the correct guy that can nail him coming down. Stretch time.
Successful trip to the line for Chris Allen. He's got 18 points in this one. Too strong, Royce White.
Got to give it up.
And he does.
Yep. Imagine me telling him to give it up. Timeout by.
Timeout. Fred Hoiberg, 143 away from the finish. As we went away, Jim Calhoun out on the floor, this time discussing a disagreement with the officials. Shabazz Napier thought he got fouled. Going to the rim, no call was made.
Almost a lot of frustration, for the whole season. He always expects the best, generally gets it. And with all the herky-jerky movement during the course of this season, it's not been an easy one for him.
Now the ball in the hands of Chris Allen. 1:40 to go in the ball game.
He's not going to give it up unless he has to.
Christopherson. He's fouled.
I'm sure that UConn group were thinking, well, we get a renaissance, a rebirth in the NCAA. Let's get it rolling. And just met a obviously well-coached team that is extremely unselfish.
Chased down by Palo. Christopherson again. Of course, they're going to put Royce White at the line.
I want to see him make him, too.
Yep.
There you go. Look at that. He just went, hey, what more do you want? The Pals are enjoying it, too.
Yes, indeed.
Well, you love to see a kid find himself, start to enjoy what he's best at. There you go, Coach. Let me shoot the tees.
Absolutely. 15 points, 11 rebounds. What that in 1992, when Fred Hoiberg was playing for Iowa State, they faced Kentucky in the second round and lost the game. Fred Hoiberg, 8 rebounds and 2 points. And that, of course, was the year that Duke and Kentucky met in the memorable 104-103 game. So it would appear that Hoiberg, as a coach, is going to lead his team back to a visit with Kentucky 20 years later. Beautiful. Nate Drummond fouled out of this game. 2 points, 4 rebounds. A forgettable evening in Louisville for the big fella from UConn. Napier. Ball's loose. Bubu's got it. By as many as 22 in the first half. They chipped away. It was 10 at the halftime break, and they actually got within 6 at 58-52. And then Iowa State scored 7 unanswered and more or less secured the victory. Lamb. Well, why not? My gracious.
He does have range.
And Royce White smiles, reached out, and he's enjoying this. He gave Jeremy Lamb a little pat on the backside.
Well, UConn just going to back off.
Final 5 seconds. Jim Calhoun starts to walk. Here's Lamb. Oh, and he missed it. That kind of summarizes this season.
Tough. But on the other side, solid basketball.
Iowa Iowa State and Kentucky in Louisville. Top-seeded Kentucky, Iowa State. They'll meet here in Louisville. And in the same region, VCU has already won its game. Tournament games continue live now on CBS, TNT, and True TV. For Bill Raftery and Leslie Visser, Verne Lundquist saying so long from Louisville. Iowa State wins it by 13. We'll send you to our studio after these messages.
Welcome back, everyone. Fred Hoiberg from Iowa State on the podium. They've beaten UConn.
Having great spacing and playing very unselfishly. And when we do that, we're a pretty good team. And they made a run on us. I was proud of how we controlled ourselves. I thought in the second half, when they cut it to 4, we did a great job of coming back out and stopping that run. And that's something that we had struggled with this year, especially with the Texas game, the previous game. So really proud of the guys. This team all year long has been very resilient. Every time after we've played a tough game, we have responded, we have bounced back, and that shows you the character of these guys. When we have a painful loss, we find a way to regroup. We come back with great focus and great practices, and we come back with a great effort. So, again, this is a huge win for our program, especially against a team like Connecticut, a coach like Jim Calhoun, who I know I have so much respect for, and all of our players do as well. So it's a great win for our guys.
Okay, now we'll begin with questions for the student athletes. Please raise your hand if you have a question, and we'll get a microphone to you.
Thanks, Royce. You lead your team in points, assists, rebounding, steals, blocks. You're the only player in college who does that. Is there any one thing that you take specific pride in? And please don't answer. I'm just happy to help the team in whatever way I can.
Well, I don't know. I say I take pride in the assist thing, only because I am a team guy, and the assist is not only a reflection of how I play the game and my basketball philosophies, but also, my teammates, believing in me to have the ball in my hands and them knocking down shots. So the assist thing is the most team stat, and that's the one I take the most pride in.
Next question.
Chris, Coach talked about the comeback. There was a point where I think y'all were up by 6, and you got a rebound, a layup, and an and-one. In a situation like that, can you feel the momentum turn with just one basket like that one seemed to?
Oh, definitely. I mean, scoring in clutch situations always boosts your team's momentum, and that's what I felt like it did, and helped us just get back on track. Something simple as a layup.
Right here in front.
Yes, Marty Terrell, ESPN Radio in Des Moines. Royce, can you talk about that exchange you had with Drummond early on in the game? And it looks like you got a poke in the eye, and then right after that, this team went on an unbelievable run. Can you talk about that exchange?
We just had some friendly words about our basketball development and the competitive, just regular talk, and it was more so about what he was planning to do after the season, stuff like that. So. It wasn't really anything about the game at all.
Right here in the middle.
Mike Colossi, Rapids Gazette. Both players, where do you think this game was won?
I feel like we wanted it more. I feel like we was doing everything we needed to. We play hard, and like when I say we wanted it more, I mean rebounds. I mean we out-rebounded them by almost 20. Yeah. So I mean that's a great stat line.
I would say that rebounds is definitely a factor, but the number one thing is that we stayed together and we pulled together and we showed a true bond out there, more than we ever have this year, and it takes that bond to win a big time game like that against a big time team.
Royce, on that first possession where you grabbed the rebound and took it end-to-end and finished with a dunk that first play, how much do you think that set the tone for the game for you guys?
Well, I think it kind of set the tone for us as a team, but it didn't set the tone for the whole game because they still came back and cut it within 6 from 22. So It wasn't a big enough statement, but it set the tone for the first half, I think, and that's why we were very successful in the first half.
Got one over here.
Gene Wojciechowski with ESPN.com. Royce, you have this wonderful victory, and as a reward, now you get to play the #1 overall seed. Have you had a chance to watch them at all this season? If so, your thoughts on them?
Yeah, you see them every night on ESPN. You know, my thoughts are that they're a good team, very talented, obviously. They're the #1 team for a reason. You know, got a great coach, a great, rich basketball tradition in Kentucky basketball in general. And, we got our work cut out for us. And I'm sure, Coach is going to come up with a great game plan like he did for tonight and like he's done all year. And we're going to go back and watch some film and figure out their weaknesses and strengths like every team has.
Any more questions for the Iowa State student athletes? Thanks, guys.
I was going to ask you, is it more fun to win as a player or a coach? But I don't know that I want to know about fun. Can you just compare intellectually or emotionally the experience of winning as a player and then as a coach?
I thought it was fun. You enjoy both. It's totally different. When you're playing, you go out there, you have control over it. As a coach, you try to do everything you can to put your players in a position where they can go out and be successful on the floor. And you hope they go out and execute the game plan they put together. Playing's probably more fun. Coaching's definitely more stressful, I'll say that. I was a part of 3 of these NCAA tournaments as a player, and I talked to our guys all year long about trying to get here because of the experience and how fun it is. And our guys bought into that, and they really came together. The biggest thing I saw with our guys is once conference season rolled around, the focus just went to a completely new level. And they liked playing with each other. Everybody accepted their roles, and that gave us an opportunity to get to this point. It's very gratifying when you see your guys go out and play like they did tonight. That's the biggest thing that I'll take out of this game is how well they followed the game plan. And, the big thing we talked about, if we can control the glass, we're at our best when we get the defensive rebound and can get out in transition and run. And I thought Royce did set the tone with that first play, getting the rebound, going down, hammering it. Our guys got excited. And we got out and really scored in transition in that first half. We got the tempo where we wanted it.
We certainly made a dent and came back, but the opening few minutes kind of set the tone for the game. When we did come back, we didn't have enough, whatever it may be, to stay with it. And I thought we still had opportunities to win the basketball game. But give them all the credit. Iowa State, there isn't too many ways in which they didn't beat us tonight. And it's very disappointing to have to end the season this way, but I've cared about these kids all through the season, continue to care about them. Someone just asked me what a disastrous season. If UConn goes to the NCAA tournament and wins 20 or more games every year, I'll probably be pretty happy. I'm not happy with the way we played tonight. I'm sure our players aren't very happy with the way they played tonight. If I was Fred, the mayor of Ames, I'd be very happy with the way his kids played. They played at a different speed than we did, and that's why they won the game.
What do you think was the difference between last year and this year?
We won the first game last year, and we lost the first game this year. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You saw the game. We played very poorly. We deserved to lose the game. They deserved to win the game. Last year we played Bucknell and beat them by 25 points, and we deserved to win. They deserved to lose. I mean, Mike, I can't, we played very poorly. I don't know really what to tell you. I mean, and I thought that Iowa State took great advantage of the opportunity. And I'm not trying to be a jerk to you, but last year and this year have nothing to do with each other. They really don't.
Pat Forty from Yahoo Sports. Jim, what'll be the process you're going to go through here to decide if you're going to come back and coach next year?
We're talking about tonight's game. We're not talking about me. So I mean, I think we're talking about that. So I'm going to get on the plane tomorrow, go home, and do what I usually do, and meet up with the team on Monday. So.
The disappointing result tonight notwithstanding, do you look back at this season as more of one that's disappointing or one that's rewarding?
That's a good question, because it hasn't got to do with tonight's game. But